You guys are familiar with the Sea of Swords, the Sword Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard of Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna head just a little south by southeast to the town of
Oh no, are we
Daggerford.
going into the yawning portal?
We are not.
Mm-hmm.
We are nearby. Some of you could be from or around Waterdeep. I don't know how much you want to do background up until this moment, or if you wanted to get into it.
I'll start it off if that's all right.
Okay.
All right. So my druid is named Moss Wolfblood. He spent his days living alone in the misty forest southeast of Daggerford. Um, and he lived there because of how much he actually despised people. He was a recluse because of the fact that he just connected so much more with wildlife and nature more so than humanity. Um, but one day when he was wandering through the woods, he stumbled across some animal carcasses. He found an elk that was dry of all of its blood. He proceeded down the pathway a little bit longer and found a wolf that had the same cause of death, and this puzzled him until he saw running away in the distance a vampire. He saw just the trail of one. He followed this trail uh, very 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 stupidly, unfortunately, and he was beaten nearly to death, but managed to get out alive and realized that if he were to ever take on the vampires again, he would need help. Proceeded from his small hut in the forest, northwest to the town of Daggerford, and went to the tavern in search of other fighters and adventurers to help him out.
Okay. I can definitely work with that. So, what brings Magnus to this area?
Good question. Well, as a young boy, I remember being about 5 or 6 and having my family slaughtered by vampires. Then I grew up for a while and I joined a team of vampire hunters to learn my trade and moved forth and watched them all fall to an elder vampire. I vowed to either die or eradicate them in the most cruel of ways. My biggest fear is getting attached to anybody else and feeling the pain of their loss. So that's me.
Who would like to go next?
I'm sensing a theme. My parents were killed by vampires, but I was taken in uh, by a priest and brought to the local monastery of Lathander, the god of birth and renewal. There they trained me specifically to be a bringer of life and an ender on death. And so I've recently left and embarked into the world uh, to avenge my family, but also to put right the balance in the world and to serve Lythander.
Did most of this happen in Waterdeep, or are you even further away?
Well, we were eventually I was moved to the temple in Waterdeep.
Okay. The Temple of Lathander in Waterdeep is called the Spires of the Morning Lord. Just FYI. And at the Spires of the Morning Lord, you will have seen countless, well, not countless, but enough statues to of heroes and whether it was local clergy that have done miraculous feats or adventurers who have earned their way into, like, there's a statue here and a statue there. There's of course one big large statue of Lathander as well. I don't know how much you character gets into the political areas of that, but there's back and forth on deciding things amongst each other and the best things for the people of Waterdeep, which sometimes gets financial. But yeah,
Okay.
thought I'd fill you in on that. If you're going to be Lathander and close to Waterdeep, you definitely know the Spires of the Morning Lord.
Okay.
Um, Last but not least.
So, I was born in a cave. And pretty much, we were shunned from society because we were tieflings, and everyone just kind of looked down on us. So we were living in this cave for a little while, and food was pretty scarce. So eventually, we moved to a neighboring city, and it had been overrun by vampires, but we weren't aware of that at the time. And they gave us shelter at an inn. Only I woke up one day and my parents had vanished. Little did I know that they were captured by vampires. And so I set out looking for them. And now I'm here.
All right, good job, guys.
I
Yeah, it
didn't
was
think
pretty.
too
Well,
deeply on this
you
one.
guys did a lot of that work for me. I'm really excited about this. Gave me plenty of information. Um,
I'm excited.
I gotta remember how to pronounce everyone's name. That's like for me. That's the biggest learning curve. I've got Moss, Magnus. Yeah, you're gonna need to help me there.
Huh.
Does
Zezerin,
it? Yeah.
Zezerin, and is it servant or is it Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Okay,
Hey, sorry.
Zezerin. It sounds like most of your misfortunes happened in Oldenbar, next to the troll bark forest.
Okay.
Um, but you caught wind of the fact that someone had. Were you looking to destroy vampires, or were you running from it? I missed that last part.
Oh, I'm totally looking to destroy some vampires.
You've caught wind of a couple adventurers mentioning that if you were looking to hunt, there is somebody in Daggerford that is recruiting.
Dagger. Gotcha.
So you head out there.
Yeah.
From the
Moss moose.
from the misty forest, you didn't hear that so much as picked it out of someone's head. Um, it's still, I mean, to you that's the same thing. So from the Misty Forest, you set out and arrive in Daggerford around the same time. We already established that Gabriel is spent some of his training years in Waterdeep. You were either sent to or manipulated and therefore sent to Daggerford recently. I don't know how you feel about that. Like I said, the Spires of the Morning Lord starts if they're making the calls and you're doing as instructed. You would have head out without any trouble or with trouble. I don't know. That part's really up to you.
Without any trouble.
Yep. So you were the representative. You're the one from the Spires of the Morning Lord that has been sent to aid in this oncoming problem. And I feel like I missed Magnus because you were in Daggerford already. That's right. Um, you were in Daggerford just for a call of arms, looking to make the money when you realized that there was a call for a vampire hunter, and there is an inn in Daggerford. It's right across the street from the main city hall. And honestly, like if I did like 5 minutes of research, I'd remember the name of the woman that runs it. And I don't want to waste any more time because it's already like
Right.
midnight-ish. But in this inn, I think it's a two-story inn. There's a few many tables on the bottom, and then there's a few up on the upper story. Um, Christian, can you roll me a d20? There is indeed music being played on a stage close to where there is a hearth. The music is that good.
All right.
And each one of you walk in within around 10 minutes of opening. You're all focused on getting there when the place opened, and some of you got there a little early and had to come back. So you're almost walking in at around the same time. There's only about a half a dozen people in the tavern already. And what is your normal when you come into the tavern? What's your normal procedure? What do you guys normally do? As long
I
as
go
you're right.
looking for anybody to fulfill that was seeking start a contract. Go to talk to the person at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to the bar with Magnus.
Okay. You guys get to the bar around the same time.
So that works.
Okay.
The bartender just stretches out one hand to a man sitting in the corner. He looks kind of frail. He's got a hood up He's not real. He's trying to be a little quiet. He's looking around. He seems nervous. Uh, Most of the tavern is ignoring you guys at that point, even after you all home in on that.
I give a look to Magnus and kind of shrug and make my way over to the table.
Okay.
Pardon me, good sir. I'm serving Gabriel from Waterdeep. I'm here to investigate some of the things that have been happening. I was sent by the Spires of Morning Glory. Dan, you might be able to point me in a direction.
Yes, Servant Gabriel, please sit.
Find a seat.
He has a bit. He then coughs. It doesn't look life threatening or anything, but he doesn't look completely healthy.
Are you ill, sir?
I do suffer.
Is there anything that I can do to ease that suffering?
Then he looks at his wine. It's like half full, and he says, "Maybe soon." And he takes a drink. I know that Gabriel walked over. Does anybody else walk over?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I held a chair up.
I'm sitting at the bar.
Okay. You do not hear this person they're talking to, but you can hear Servant Gabriel. He's outspoken. He's loud enough for you to listen in. Unless you change that, Steve.
Nope.
But the person he's listening to is quiet. You can't hear a word of that. And what about the druid?
I'm just kind of eavesdropping from the corner of the room still, from the other corner.
All right. You're very much out of place. You're a hermit at this point. If you're trying to blend in, let me know. If you're trying to stand out, don't bother trying to blend in.
I am just trying to blend in. I'm not trying to really talk to anyone that I'm not going to gain something from talking to.
Okay. Can I have a performance check?
Yes. Almost give you a perception instead of performance. That's not good.
You think you're doing just fine. There's a little bit of a mud trail behind you and in front of you, but it's not the end of the world. You should be okay. Any other member of the party, you do notice that there is some kind of a weird druid, woodsy guy who's not doing a good job at blending in with the crowd.
Okay.
What you do with that information is up to you. So the old.
Can I take a medicine check to see what's wrong with this guy?
Yes, you can.
Oh, there you go.
You get the distinct impression that he suffers from something supernatural. The way he coughed and the way he is first he seems to be ashamed of his cough, but it didn't sound all of that life-threatening or painful. But it was the way he seemed ashamed of it that made you think that it was something that was beyond normal science.
Do I hear? Sorry.
You heard the man cough.
Can I roll to see if there's anything special that I hear about his cough?
Yes.
Same thing, I'm gonna guess.
A medicine check.
I'm very good at medicine, so.
I am surprised at the result. Another natural 20.
Wow. What the hell?
Yeah, that's just blow them now, guys.
Stop it.
What happens in this moment is he looks up and gives off another cough, and this time his mouth opens a bit, and you can see that there's damage inside his mouth that should have. I mean, the mouth is one of the fastest things to heal, and it doesn't look like it looks like the scarring in there doesn't make any sense at all. The other interesting thing here is that Servant Gabriel and Moss Wolfblood also noticed that the other person noticed. Like there's a moment of a connection there where you both catch the fact that this guy is either a ghoul or about to become a ghoul. Something's not right here.
So we both know we know. Like there's just
Yes.
that shared like, oh no, shit's about to get bad.
Yeah, you both know that the other person knows that this guy is on the road to becoming an undead. He's not quite there yet, but he's on that road.
So I can only hear one half of the conversation, but I heard that cough, right?
You definitely heard the cough.
Okay, so yeah, I look over and
Okay.
with this surprised look on my
Assuming you
I-
don't get another natural 20, I'd say it just blends in with the rest of the noise. But at this point, I'm ready. Make a medicine
I
check.
know if this is a
Oh,
contagious
ours?
thing.
Okay.
Not without further investigation, no.
So I do not know. So even knowing that it's a ghoul cough, I don't know that whether or not that's a contagious thing.
Right. You know, you can do a religion check to see how much you know about ghouls in general. Ghouls is a word I use. I'm not necessarily ghoul, zombie, undead of some kind is manifesting. As you're not sure what caused it. You also okay. So everybody in the party realizes that he's got some kind of an undead affiliation going on.
Yeah.
He's
So
not there yet,
I
but you all know how undead works. Sometimes they bite somebody, and then in time they become whatever got to them, and he is currently under that infliction.
I approach the armored man and the man in the hood,
Okay,
and
but then they have a little bit of time before you get to act. You move up. I haven't heard from Christian in a minute. What's Butler? What are you up to?
Um,
That sounds good. Sorcerer.
yeah.
Sorcerer.
So, yeah, I heard the cough, and I'm just kind of staring at him like flabbergasted. So I
Yeah.
stand up and I start to walk over.
Okay. That brings me to my cleric.
So I lean in and I say, "Do you know how long you have?"
Oh, that's a good question. Steve, roll me a d20.
"13."
No. And he takes
How
another sip of his wine.
how would you like us to take care of you when it happens?
You cannot. Not this.
Can you tell us who did this to you?
An enemy of the family.
Whose family?
At that point, I sit down at the table with the bar stool that I brought with me.
Mm-hmm.
How do
No, go ahead. Sorcerer, roll me a d6. You might know this guy.
Might
Let's see.
He's looking a little familiar. You can't place it. Maybe the situation's the same, or maybe his backstory's similar. Maybe you're relating, or maybe you actually know him. You're not sure.
All right. Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, insight or history, your choice.
All right. Nice.
Insight. He is terrified, and he's he's
Terrified
terrified.
of
He's in a
me?
hurry.
He's terrified of me or what?
No, he's terrified in general.
Okay.
He seems to be in a hurry, and he feels really out of place.
All right. Sir, would you mind telling us about this affliction that you seem to be going through?
There is a people, and if you don't cross them, they're they're very magical and okay. But I have crossed them, and I am cursed. This curse goes deep into who I am.
Cursed. Cursed with what?
And I don't have much more to say. I need to give you this. If you're interested in taking care of the vampire problem, you should read this. And he rolls out a piece of paper, and you all get a good glimpse at it. I don't know if you can read it, but you can get a glimpse at it. If anyone wants to try to read it out loud, I'm good. I'm all good with that. Whatever you guys want to do.
I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna read it to myself.
Hail to thee of might and valor, I, a lowly servant of Barovia,
Lower your voice. Lower your voice.
send honor to thee. We plead for thy so desperately needed assistance, the love of my life, Vivian von Vivian has been afflicted by an
Damn it,
evil.
Steve. Her name's Irina. Irina
So,
Kolivana.
Irina Kolyavana has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wounds, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine.
So my tail begins to wag back and forth ever so slightly.
Italian
Okay.
Ingratisch Burgermeister.
The young woman's adopted father. And he rolls up the parchment, ties it off, and puts it into his robes.
And this
Do
Barovia, this land that is afflicted with these vampires.
Steve, I personally missed what you said.
Barovia, this land is the place where we will find the vampire.
Yes, you will find much in Barovia.
I have never heard of this place. How do we get there?
It is not far. I am looking for the map right now.
Are you well enough to take us there, friend?
I can lead you from Daggerforth into the misty forest. There's a place we can camp that is close. And then in the morning, we will enter Barovia together.
Will the journey be perilous?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Do any of you know the misty forest well?
I do. I live there.
Oh, then if you can guide us through the misty forest, I can take us the rest of the way.
Can I have 1 second? I'm looking something up for my character.
Excellent. I can't say it. Zez? Vezerin?
Huh? Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while.
No worries.
Vezerin. Vezerin, make an Arcana check. And then Servant Gabriel, a religion check. Magnus, you're welcome to make an Arcana check as well because you're an Eldritch Knight. I don't know if you're proficient in Arcana though.
No, 13.
Okay.
I got 15.
I am back with the research. I am back for my character.
Who needs to be?
Right.
I need dirty 20.
So, do you have a name, sir?
Yes.
I know things.
What is it?
Now is not the time, young man.
Okay. Well, on the way to this place in Sarah, it's called Barovia? Is that what we're having? Barovia?
Yes, Barovia.
Barovia. On the way to Barovia, I can transform into a horse so that it is less taxing for you.
A horse is a quarter?
It is.
Awesome. You are gifted, which does not come as a surprise to me. Now the Arcana check. Both of you are convinced that whatever curse he has is definitely a magical curse. Because you're starting to see maybe a faint snap in the weave. The magical weave is what we use to cast spells.
Right.
When he's coughing, you're sensing a vibration that could only be described as the first time you cast a cantrip or the last time you tried to cast one of your more powerful spells. You felt that tingle. You know when you're connecting to the weave and you're around something that has more to do with magic than just normal nature. And this cough he has is or whatever else is wrong with him is definitely arcane based. It's some kind of a curse, but you're unable to. You can't even pick the school of magic, let alone any kind of particular information about it. So it's coming up on. I mean, dusk is over at this point. It's not really all that dark out yet. There are some people still going around lighting areas that would be like street lamps and such. But Daggerford is kind of closing up for the evening, and there doesn't seem to be the rest of Daggerford seems to be functioning normally. Most people were ignoring this old man and his crazy need for help. But you guys are a little different. You're vampire hunters.
What we do?
You know better.
When you say ignore, is it like they don't see him? Or they,
Oh no, they see him. They just his plea for help was going on deaf ears. They didn't see whatever was wrong with him wasn't important.
Well, friend, I think we should leave at once.
Agreed.
That would
Boss,
work. That would work with me as well.
Wonderful. Boss Wolf, can you get us through the woods?
Yes.
Anthony, would you roll a d20 for me? And don't roll an 18, 19, or 20. I'm trying to get on with the story. Thank you. There are no random encounters between. Steve knew. I was like, don't roll an 18, 19, or 20. All right. You guys get to exactly where Moss was leading you. There's a bit of a clearing, and then I don't know if he like shows you around, because you're pretty much home, but nobody else sees anything different than the rest of the Misty Forest at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say there's not really much to show around.
Yeah, there's a good tree cover in many places. It's not like a total tree cover area. You can still see the sky and all
The
that.
tree cover is great. It's prime real estate, man. I'm telling you.
What kind of trees are they?
Well, you
Oh,
see,
you
if you
tell me.
want a little more
They're
shade, we
misty
have some
trees.
willows over there. If
Yeah.
you want a little more bedding, you can go over to the pines in that area. You know, if you wanna get some nice aromatics, you know, that's the spot.
The old man says, this area here will do. We will rest here.
Resting.
Now, well, yeah, this is my house. What do you guys think?
This is
Do
where
you,
we
do you
plan to
actually say
camp.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Make a insight check.
Everyone?
Assuming you're no longer a horse, make an insight check when you mention that this is your house. It's not a bad idea. I'll take it from everybody. All right, I'm missing one.
Yep.
There it is. All right. Gotta stop sharing for a minute here. So yeah, the old man just smiles at the fact that you mentioned that this was your home, and goes, "How interesting! Why don't you show us around?"
But what do you mean I did? You got the willows over there. You got the pines over there.
Wait a minute.
Oh, very interesting. Let's set up camp then.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking. Before?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit there. I couldn't really hear what you said.
No, I've never been here before. I know this is the way to Barovia, but I've not traveled this way.
Can I roll an insight on that?
You sure can.
Oh, I'm okay.
You're not completely sure that he's telling you the truth. Something about this area is familiar to him. You're sure of it,
All right.
Mr. Natural One.
When you cough, dab it.
I kind of give you an eye and just kind of nod at him.
Why don't we get our rest?
Get a rest.
First walk.
Do I notice there's suspicion?
He asked him a couple questions. He started a couple. You notice the suspicion as much as you just noticed in game. I don't know if there's a role involved in that. Please tell me I'm not sharing my screen right now.
No.
Oh, good. It would have been bad. Okay, so he starts to set up camp, and he seems to be like many people, he seems to know exactly what he's doing when it comes to setting up a small camp area. Got the area for the fire. There was already a convenient log.
I'm kind of watching him during this whole time, just like eyeing him up, but still trying to do my own thing.
Okay.
You gonna eat them?
Are you gonna eat him? Do you ask him that?
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know if you respond. He's still still continues to cough. He seems to he seems to be weakened. Those of you that made the Arcana check realize that there's some magical effect that is causing him to act this way. That he still hasn't beaten it.
My tail wraps around my legs. So you know, a tiefling's tail is like basically like you know what's going on inside my head. It's how I determine emotion and stuff.
Mhm.
It wraps around my leg. I get scared or nervous.
Okay.
I didn't grab silver daggers. Damn it.
So what do you guys do in the next? It's getting late. I don't know what kind of sleep schedule you guys want to do.
Yeah, Magnus, I'll take the first watch if you want the second.
All right.
Do you want me to try to get a little information from this guy's mind?
Absolutely.
You're gonna try and probe him. All right. I'm gonna sleep,
Okay.
and at that point, I'm gonna go get a drink and go to the bathroom.
All right, Pat, probe him.
Would charm person somewhat work? Is that with him like being convinced he's our friend?
You can cast Charm Person on him.
I'm gonna do so.
Okay.
I don't really care if he knows that I did it. He's gonna die anyways.
We're in a land full of
Let's see.
vampires.
Let's
You
see.
can't get back home.
I don't like people.
Okay. You need a target for that to work. I'll just throw a d20. He has failed his saving throw.
So what can you tell us about your injury?
I do not have a physical injury.
I know, but
I wouldn't call what you think is wrong with me an injury at all. I am cursed.
can you give us a name now? Can you give us a name as to who did this?
I
to you?
guess it's safe here. I have wronged the Vistani. You can make a history check. Anyone can make a history check or arcana check on that. Vistani is the name he used. Good morning. Break the whole damn campaign with your natural 20. That's more like it. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I knew I could count it. All right, you've had a little bit of dealing with other planes. I assume you're already proficient in Arcana, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know how much you yourself are familiar with, but you're currently on the Prime Material plane, and there are other planes in Dungeons and Dragons. The inner planes, the outer planes. Is any of this ringing the bell, or is this 101?
As a player,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I'm not like in depth familiar.
Gotcha. You've made a deal, or somewhere along the line, your family line made a deal with Archduke of the 7th layer of Hell, giving you your abilities. It might have been the 8th, I don't remember. So you're familiar with Bator, which is the outer plane that is lawful evil and therefore Hell, where Asmodeus is and all of his archdevils. And that is a whole nother story, but you're familiar with the outer planes. The Vistani are a group of gypsy nomads that can travel between planes at will. They've been able to do that since almost, well, as far as the beginning of your history check, even with your natural 20 can tell. They're a very ancient old people, and nobody on Toril, which is the planet you're on right now, has seen or heard them in a very long time. Or if they have, they come and go so quickly that no one's documented it. But old texts, old tomes, and where your character got that information from, I don't know, because I don't know how much he studied. But somewhere along the way, you've heard about the Vistani, and They're gypsy nomads that wander the plains. They have the ability to go from one plain to another, just like you can go from one side of this forest to the other. And they're very magical. But like gypsies, I'm using gypsies so you and I can understand what they're like. They don't consider themselves gypsies. They consider themselves the Vistani. They right out there with Transylvanian curses, different hexes, but all of it's such old ancient magic that the current like cure wounds and remove curses or whatever almost have no effect on this magic because it wasn't brought about by the weave of magic. It's brought about by different types of magic or um, to rival that of the gods. No one Vistani is god, but together they form a power that just is unstoppable. And then they just gypsies. They've been wandering around forever. So when he says he's been cursed by a Vistani, your tail perks up.
Alright, so I'm basically aware of his affliction and where he got it.
You know that it's powerful magic that nobody here could take out. If he's been hit by a Vistani, and almost any Vistani has this ability, because just like your dragon bloodline, someone with Vistani blood can just look at somebody and cast like an evil eye curse at them, and they're cursed. There's nothing you can do about that except die, unless they find a way to beat that curse, and then the Vistani has to pay the price if they do find a way. But it's usually unheard of. They don't give out these curses lightly, but when they do, whether it's in combat or whether it's because you've wronged a family member or whatever, they're pretty permanent. So now you've gathered that this guy may have had this cough for a very long time, and he's never getting rid of it, or it could be killing him tomorrow. You don't know, because you don't know enough about Vistani magic to determine that.
Okay.
And he wouldn't have shared it if it wasn't for this charm person crap I got to deal with. I mean, I'm happy. I love my job.
Have the Vistani been mentioned so far in this campaign?
No, this is the first time your character's heard this word in a long time.
Okay. So.
But you rolled another natural 20.
Yeah. So I look at Moss and I just kind of put my hand up and I like try to gather Gabriel to me and I explain the situation. Like, so are you familiar with the Vistani?
I've never heard of him.
Well, I have reason to believe that this man has come in contact with them.
Is that a bad thing?
That's because that's what I just said.
Well, yes.
We just we keep our circle and just take a few more steps to the side.
I'm losing track of who the we are. The party walks away from the old man, or
Yes.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's charmed right now, so he's like, oh, that's cool. Tend the fire a little bit.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate your input.
I'm not sure if I'll look at it tomorrow.
Yeah. Or what he'll wake up as.
It's entirely possible.
Let's keep the door open. This Barovia, I feel like we need to be there.
Is everybody else awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
During the setup.
Magnus, you're a cleric, correct? You're a holy man. No?
No.
Yes, no.
No, that's me.
Oh, I'll help. Magnus is they call it a knight of arcane.
Ah.
He is a fighter in many ways, but he has some magical ability.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Wow, this charm person's really working. I am slightly aware of. Would you like me to tell you how I know that, Moss?
Eh.
No, I don't know. I don't have to tell you.
Oh, great. Thanks, buddy.
That's for Ander.
It is possible I've done my homework. We needed the right people to come to Barovia. And that's true, but misleading because I'm a bad person. No. What was that?
And who are the right people?
The four of you are exactly the right people.
Oh, you're just saying that because Moss cast a charm person spell on you.
I am saying too much because Moss cast a charm person on me. That is true. Luckily,
Yes,
they
it
only
is.
last for an hour. After that, I will probably kill him.
That's okay.
Do you
Now,
actually say that?
What was that?
Do Do you actually say that you might kill him?
Yeah, he came. He's charmed.
Okay.
Yeah,
At
he
this
says charm
point,
person lasts an hour, and after that, I'm probably gonna kill him.
at this point, my hand just kind of creates a little firebolt in it. I'm not gonna cast it, but like you can see it.
Okay.
Are you
Intimidating
sure
won't break the charm, but damaging him will. That's
Yes,
basic stuff
yes.
for your character. He'd already know that.
Yes.
And don't hit him.
Are you sure that's the path that you wish to take tonight?
Don't hit him yet. Don't hit him yet. Don't hit
Easy.
him yet.
Let our friend rest.
Our friend, we just met the man.
He's very charming.
Friend. I put the firebolt away.
Thank you.
Friend, you look like you could use your rest, and since the druid isn't going to help us get more information from you, I think it's best.
I did have one more question. In the morning, which direction are we going to go to get to
Barovia.
Barovia?
Oh, we will travel west in the morning.
All right. All right. Then yes, I think we should get some rest.
Okay. Moss, make a survival check.
Oh, I'm great at those.
Rivals for us.
Natural 1. Let's go. Oh, never mind.
Ooh.
Yeah, Daggerford's to the west. You just came from there. It was that way. Like, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Wait, we're going back there?
He doesn't say that. You know, with that survival check, that Daggerford is to the west. That's you guys just came east.
We came from the west, didn't we?
I thought we came from the south.
We were in Daggerport, weren't we?
Mhm.
And then we came southeast from the west.
Where is my zoom?
Boop.
So you guys are currently like right around this red pin, right? And that's
Yeah.
west.
Well, east to it. Or west.
So wait, so we're going back where we came?
I need to know what you're saying as opposed to what you now have the thought that you just came from the west, and he said we're traveling west in the morning. But I don't know. I need to know how you word it because I'm trying to dance around your suggestion. So what do you say? Or you're a charm person. I'm sorry.
Confused, because wait. So we're trying to get to Barovia, right?
Oh, we won't have to try.
Well, that's where we're going. We're going to Barovia.
Yes. And in the morning, we will travel west.
Do you know of any difficulties we might encounter
When?
During our trip on the way there?
On the way to Barovia?
Yes.
No, you will not be harmed before you reach the village.
Will there be anything waiting for us there?
Hopefully you will be able to take care of the problems. Hopefully
Well,
the burgomaster...
that was what I said. I said, will there be anything waiting for us?
Oh yes, of course.
Can you tell us what it will be?
Well, sure. Let's see. There are the villagers of Barovia, and the burger. This Irina, of course. She will probably be there for you.
Have you spent a lot of time in Barovia?
I have never been to the village of Barovia.
And how are you aware of these things?
These are what I was told.
From whom?
By those that commanded me to come get you. Would you like something to drink?
No.
What was that?
Those
Commanded you to come and get us?
Yes, to find the vampire hunters. Yes.
Us specifically, though.
Yeah, let me tell you a story. I would love to tell you about a man.
Pause.
Pause.
How long does my character know how long it's been since he cast this spell? Like, roughly.
It's been about 10 minutes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that like he's not stalling to make it.
He's definitely
wear off.
stalling.
Well, I get that, but it's not a danger of wearing off.
It
Right
depends on
now.
how long his story is.
I'll cut him off at a certain point.
I see.
Continue.
Right. And with that, he puts his hand into a component pouch, and then he throws some stuff on the fire, and the fire turns into green flame. Am I alone? Oh, I'm alone. Okay.
Was that a Harry Potter reference?
No, it was a Acquisitions Incorporated Chris Perkins reference, and I'm all by myself, and that's fine. He takes a sip of some of the spirits that he has, and he starts to move around the fire. He seems to have a little bit of trouble, but he still moves around it to a point where he is on one side and the four of you are on another. And he mentions that I come from an ancient land whose name's long forgotten by all the kings. Our enemy forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. And there's a dark shape in the fire that takes the form of a man being knocked off his horse. There are spears piercing his side. And he continues that one night we met a wounded soldier. He staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed this terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine, and he survived. When we asked him who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back towards the homeland. His enemies haunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves. Now, deep in the bonfire, you can see the dark figures starting to stand and be swarmed by different assassins and fighters. So this whole image is starting to play out in the fire as he moves his hands in a way that, for those of you who can cast spells, realizes he's using like minor cantrips and illusions to make this story begin to come to full. So he's got a little bit of magic about him. He mentions that this man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we protected him. We bore him safety to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. Now the figures in the dancing fire vanish, and a final foe then disappears into a cloud of smoke and embers. Finally he says, a curse has befallen our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain. We've traveled far and wide to find horses. I said horses, but the word heroes is here on the page, so we're going to pretend I said heroes. To find heroes such as... I need glasses. Heroes such as yourselves to end our dreaded Lord Curse and put this terrible soul to rest. My leader's name is Madame Eva. She knows more than I do, and when you're in Barovia, you should speak to her. With that, the fire returns to normal, and he looks up. He seems a little nervous because he knows he's still under this charm person spell that's starting to get a little weird.
You seem a little adept with magic. Where did you study?
I did not study in a school that you would know of. I was born, and it's been passed down. Madame Eva, in particular, is a wonderful teacher.
Very interesting.
She is in a camp. There is a Vistani camp near Barovia, and I'm sure you'll go there.
Is there any way that I can check to see if I can figure out that Barovia is not in Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would that check be?
That's at this point, it's a history check.
All right.
Oh, I just found out that I can be real annoying with my dice.
Nope. I think it's down the road.
Yeah. You did come from the west, but maybe he means like lower in the forest or something.
It's down over off
the other side. There's a big tree,
I
and
don't
maybe to
know.
the right and the left. It's in the woods, obviously. I love the no lines on the numbers on that. I do that sometimes.
Right?
You were already convinced that he's full of shit. If you guys head west, you'll be right out of the forest. You don't know what he's talking about.
Was this story about you?
Oh no, I was not alive back when this all took place.
Okay, I just had to get that
No.
out.
No, The prince that the Vistani stave that day is definitely not me.
And you have no connection to the Vistani.
Of course I do. No, no, not at all. No. Um,
I can't tell if that was a mistake on your part or if he actually says that.
oh, he said it. I was in character.
And what does the prince go by now?
Uh, yes. Strahd.
Any check we can make to see if we know?
Be my guest. Be my guest.
Which one would that be?
Throw
history
a religion and make it high.
also?
You got a shot at this one.
Natural 20.
Nope.
I was thinking that I read about the Vistani in a book, perhaps.
The dice have spoken. The dice
I
have spoken.
I want to hear everything you know about this book. I don't even care if I know it doesn't exist, but I want to know everything about this book, especially where it is. When he speaks his name, even though Steve leaves, you start to feel it feels colder. Like the fire begins to dim a bit, and it feels colder in this area. It's now cloudy. It might rain. All of it seems to happen at around the same time. Like cinematically, when he said the name Strahd, things got deeper and darker in the area. Those of you that are superstitious might think that it had something to do with that. I don't know.
Can I write the words "I'm dumb" in Druidic on the ground in the mud or in the dirt?
Mhm.
Okay. And I ask him to read what I just wrote.
Sure. Are those words?
Yes.
I do not recognize that as a language.
Okay.
Neither does anybody else. It looks like he took 2 twigs and a berry and just slid them in the dirt. Doesn't make any sense.
Moss, is this fog? Is this normal for your house?
No. No roll
No,
required.
I've checked. This is much more than natural weather or any cheap cantrips. This is
Any rolling in of fog or whatever usually happens in the morning, like right after the dew starts to heat up and all that. And being
this
at
is
night like this,
unnatural.
it doesn't make any sense. It seems to be coming from like the top of the trees and maybe moving its way down. If it was moving at all, I don't know. Does fog move?
Mhm.
You guys are getting creeped out.
And then, just so you guys are aware, the reason why I did that is because some druids have the ability to affect the weather in ways like this and create things like fog. Um, and druids we have our own language. So if he was able to read that, I could have at least possibly known that he was kind of doing a cheap trick for that. But these are obviously some unnatural clouds and fog that are caused by something I do not know.
Are you setting us up?
What do you mean?
Did you lure us here into a trap?
Yes.
Who's coming?
Nobody's coming here. This
So are they
trap you
just going
speak
to?
of, it's not what you think. It's the way it is, and it is also our only hope. It's
Only hope of what?
this prince, this curse, this tyrant. Eventually, someday,
Is it
someone
in
will stop him.
our well-being to listen to you?
It is not in the four of your well-beings, but maybe those you care about or the places you're from.
Is
I
it
barely said
in
his name and look at the area.
the world's well-being, the natural world?
The only answer I could give to that is yes.
Well, I pull out my warhammer and shield and get ready. Stand at attention. Magnus, be on the ready, friend. We have no idea what's coming through the fog.
Have you heard of a woman named Talia, my mother?
Oh, what was her name?
Talia? I just can't.
Oops, that's not a die. That's a match.
Because she had a tail.
Well, no, I was thinking probably
Because she was tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I haven't added his bonus yet. She sounds familiar. You said she was your mother?
Yes. Well, I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would. She sounds familiar. Talia?
Yes. Where did
When,
you hear this name?
uh, amongst my people, in passing, in story.
And where are your people from?
I refer to the ones that spend most of their time in Barovia.
Okay. What have you heard about her?
That the fate you're about to receive, she has already gone through.
Is
That
she
chill
alive?
curls around my leg.
Aw,
The
we'll take care of you, little buddy. Don't be scared.
Don't patronize.
Is the fog getting thicker?
no, it doesn't seem to be encroaching anymore.
It's Strahd.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I meant yes. The fog is definitely starting to come down the lower parts of the trees, and it could come down to the trunk of the tree if it continued along that same. Yeah. Fog.
Okay.
Keeping this time.
They're getting there.
Have you seen her?
It was before my time, maybe.
Before your time, it couldn't have been that long. How old is this gentleman?
Make a medicine check, or you could just ask him.
Sir, how old are you?
Wasn't sure which one you wanted to do there. I am in my 50s.
So it couldn't have been
He's human.
that
He's
long.
human.
It couldn't have possibly have been that long ago.
I'm afraid you might be confused. Perhaps I have not heard of this woman.
I again show him a firebolt.
Okay.
I just kind of stepped to the side on this one.
Do you
Feeling
make an
bombs and
intimidation check with
stuff.
that firebolt?
I'm sorry?
Did you make an intimidation check with that firebolt, or are you trying to intimidate him?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead. You have advantage. It's a firebolt.
Oh, all right. Well,
You
I'll
already
take
have
that.
Yeah, you already have you already have a dirty 20, so I can't do both. I'd love to, but I can't. Henry's starting to ask questions, and I'm like, I can't. I'm incapable. As I make it up as I go along to stop and explain it, it goes. It's a completely different side of my brain. But you can hear from here on out. So you show him the firebolt, and first he looks over at the druid, and then back to you and says, "I am trying to cooperate. There is no need to blast me with your magic. The penalty for me continuing to be so helpful is high.
Well, there's a higher penalty if you don't cooperate.
I'm not so sure. But I have told you. I mean, ask me a question and I will try to answer it. I think I recognize her name. Who is she to you?"
She was my mother. I've been looking for her for many years now.
I see.
She was kidnapped by vampires, or at least I believe that she was kidnapped by vampires. Our town was overrun, you see. And I woke up one morning only to find that she had been missing, along with my father, Avery.
I have not heard of this man. But she may have found her way to Barovia. I believe I know. I believe I've heard the name.
I throw the firebolt into the fire in anger.
maybe we will rest, and I will tell you more in the morning.
Nah.
Let's
We still got
rest for
20
at
minutes.
least an hour.
We still got 20 minutes of good time out of this guy.
Okay. He tried.
I sit down in anger.
So, how many vampires are we talking?
What do you mean?
You obviously work for vampires.
We have a deal with the Dark Prince and him with us. We work together.
And what do you gain out of it?
Uh, we're able to come and go in his land, and we have a peace.
Will we be included in your piece?
What did you say?
Will we be included in your piece by escorting you?
No harm will befall you until it's time. And then you'll probably be fine, and then you'll save Barovia. It'll be wonderful. That's the
If we
best.
go
That's the
into
best
that
case.
land, though, can we go back and forth between the way you can?
You are not Vistani. No, that will not happen. And he's starting to it's early. It's not the full hour, but it's starting to snap out of the charm person a little bit. Maybe it's the fear. I mean, if you take damage, it starts to go away, and he's psychically getting a little concerned. But that particular question hit a nerve, and he seemed to be less cooperative at that moment.
So, what do you guys think we should do right now?
Be able to
I think
move.
you should rest. You're going to need it.
Agreed.
I think you should tell us what's
But
a good
what
tactic.
should we do with you?
What,
while we
I'm sorry,
rest?
Butler. What exactly does your character say at that moment?
What do you? That's the best way to word it.
That's important right now.
What? Yeah. What do they fear most?
What do who fear most? I just want to make sure I understand.
The vampires.
And a persuasion check.
And a persuasion check. I can do that.
This tyrant has not experienced fear in a very long time.
What are their weaknesses?
He reaches for the piece of paper, and he hands it to you again.
I'm reaching into my components.
Okay, he does bring out the piece of paper before he realizes you were getting ready to. And
I stay in my hand.
her name is Irina. She is currently in the village named after the land. She's in the village of Barovia. That is his weakness.
He loves her. He loves her.
More than I could understand.
And what kind of person is she? Is she still a normal human being?
I don't know.
Is she cursed the way you are?
No.
Would you mind holding out your hand for me?
That's a persuasion check.
Huh?
That's a persuasion check.
Okay.
He's getting scared.
Persuasion. With advantage or what?
Did you successfully intimidate him? Yes, you did. Yes, with advantage.
Okay, hold on. Advantage. It didn't go through. Oh, yes, it did.
Nice.
Okay.
17.
He does.
I take out my flask of holy water and spill a drop on his hand.
It has no effect.
No.
Huh?
It has no effect.
Has no effect. Okay, that's all I
He's
wanted to
fine.
know.
He's fine.
I released his hand gently.
As the holy water slowly falls from the vial onto his hand, you realize that his hand reacts just like any other mortal, fleshy hand would. There's no undead reaction.
Okay.
That is good to know.
I look everybody in the eye and just kind of give a head nod.
Oh, and sorry, I forgot to tell you when I created my character, Chris. I was gonna have Elvish as my other
Okay.
language.
Okay. He looks over at Moss and mentions, "Is there anything else I can do for you tonight, friend? I find myself getting tired early today."
Tell us your life story.
Can I roll to see like how much I think he's still under the effect of my spell?
You don't have to roll. He's still under the effect of your spell. You've got about 18 minutes.
All right, because you said he was starting to get a little bit more clear. I didn't know if that would
You
affect it at all.
noticed that he took almost the equivalent of psychic damage when he went to answer one of the last questions that Steve's character asked him. If he takes damage, he's not going to be under the effect of charm person. The question he asked was so strong that he almost took psychic damage from it.
Okay.
I know that's because of the curse he's under, and I might as well metagame that one to you guys so you understand it a little more deeply. There is the game mechanic behind it. If he crosses a certain line, he takes psychic damage, and if he takes psychic damage, he's not going to be under the effect of charm person.
Can we trust you overnight?
I would
Can we
need
trust you not to run, not to hurt us?
I will not run. I will not hurt you.
You will not call for help?
I have no need.
Then I think we should get some rest unless you guys have any more questions for him.
Yeah, let's go to sleep.
Do you feel yourself withering away?
Yes.
How likely is it that you believe that? Well, do you believe that this will be your last night alive?
You are quick. You are quick. That's all he says.
Is there anything that we could do for you?
You have already done it. I will be free in the morning.
You'll be free. Why will you be free?
Barovia is a strange place to die. I would rather die here. And he drops something, and he begins to fall over a bit because he wasn't supposed to say that. I don't think we need to roll initiative for it, but if someone doesn't do something during this round, he is going to die. He falls over. There's a little bit of liquid. I don't know if I'd call it blood that comes out of his mouth, and he starts to cough a lot more than he should be. He's not coughing up anything in particular yet, but he has about 6 seconds to live, unless
Okay, I'm going to.
that'll help. That stabilizes him and then some. But I'm
Never
sorry.
mind.
Go ahead. What did you want to do?
No, I was gonna kill him.
Oh, that wasn't a bad idea either. But the cure, I did mention unless you guys want to roll initiative, and I didn't give you time to answer. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you'd have conflicting ideas. If you are,
And then real quick pause. I have an inspiration. Was that me just click fidgeting, or did you give me that?
I gave one to everybody.
All right.
Tony, it's not too late. If you're doing one thing and Patrick's doing something completely different, you guys can roll initiative, and whoever rolls higher goes first. Do you guys want to go down that road?
I'm fine debating it as well with you.
All right, initiative it is.
All right, roll it up. Or if you see him trying to act faster than you, you can back off, Patrick. That's fine too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for.
But one of you went for Cure Wounds, and the other one went for Firebolt.
No, I did not.
Oh, I went for aggressive. And okay, Patrick, do you get involved?
When an animal is wounded, you put it out of its misery.
You have a -1 initiative?
He does.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good time.
Like a zombie.
Yeah, I missed your answer. Does the druid continue to roll in it for initiative or no?
When an animal is wounded, you put it out of its misery.
That is what I thought you said. I just wanted to be sure. And is that everybody that wants to be in initiative?
Magnus, are you getting in there?
Oh, fine. Why do I make?
Oh, Magnus gets
There's
to
a
decide
natural
how
20.
he dies.
All right, so before we find out what Tony wanted to do you do something as you see this old man keel over? And by old man, I mean, almost practically my age. My bad. He said he was in his 50s. I'm getting there. I might want to stop calling 50-year-olds old. You can let it
Nah,
happen.
pass.
All right, you let it happen. What was on your mind, Anthony?
All right. Before initiative, like simultaneously as all this is happening, you guys all see me kind of cross my arms and then stick my hands out, and you know that's a sign of something that I'm going to do. Do any of you back off?
I back off. No, just kidding.
I back off and observe with interest.
Okay.
'Cause
And
I almost,
you guys are aware that this thing I'm about to do has a 5-foot radius.
as a druid as well, with my interest in animals, I see tieflings more so as animals than humans, so I already have an interest and a
Ah.
That
like.
was profiling.
Wow.
What? Are you within 5 feet? That's all I need to know.
No, I move out of the
Specious.
way.
Patrick, is Moss within 5 feet?
No.
All right. So they're all out of range. You're good.
Okay. I cast Sword Burst to this man.
Okay. Is there a saving throw, or is it just damage, or how's that work?
It has damage.
Um, your
Saving
sword
throw.
is different than
Yeah,
mine.
there's a
It's around
saving.
you.
The saving throw is a dexterity 13.
He made a save.
He saves.
Yep. Well, actually,
Alright.
he's prone right now, so he's got disadvantage on his save. Hang on. He did not make his save.
Okay, so then I just roll for damage.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
I don't think that's what you wanted to do in the first place.
Well,
It's,
Sword
it's a
Burst.
cantrip. I understand now.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's around him. It's around you, not around the guy.
Even though he only takes 1 point of damage, it still looks like the swords come out. You can tell me what the swords look like in a minute.
I
And the
got
force damage is affecting the fire. It's affecting things that people were sitting on a moment ago. It splits the grass, and it also daggers into the old man.
So there's about 30 daggers just kind of hovering around me, like force daggers, and they're all just like whizzing around me like a hurricane almost. Just annihilating anything in their path for 1 damage.
I lean over to Magnus and I say, "Wow, I need to hire this guy to do my lawn."
I think he just
fair.
did.
That's fair.
Wow.
This is your home. It's all happening in your backyard right now.
Are we able to get to the old man right now, or is he surrounded by these blades?
Well, your initiative is to. I think that there's that last. That's instantaneous, isn't it?
Real quick, my sword
It
burst
is.
modifier is not up to date.
Because you're level.
Well, no, I'm not.
26.
I cast everything with charisma, and it's not adding anything to it.
It's a cantrip. It doesn't include your spell modifier as damage.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yep. At level 5, it'll go up to 2d6, but you won't see the plus to damage unless you're a warlock and you take an invocation that allows it to happen and blah blah blah. That's a whole nother world.
Gotcha.
It is another world.
Christian knows that world well. That being said, this is an instantaneous effect, so it doesn't last the whole round. Therefore, at the end of your initiative count and onto the next one, the swords are dispersed. Steve, if you want to get in there, that 1 point of damage did not kill him. It didn't help, but it didn't kill him.
So I run to him and grab him as he's falling into the fire. I say, "Why are you trying to kill this man?
Why not?
What has he done to you?"
He's going to die anyway.
I told you I thought he was going to eat him.
So I lay hands. I'm gonna use a med kit on him.
Aw.
Okay.
So that is. let's see.
Me as a person, honestly, I can't remember why I did that, but there was a reason.
It's because it took us so long to get it done. You forgot why you did it.
Yep.
So I give him back 6 hit points and then an additional hit point equal to his maximum number of hit dice.
Huh?
So you get as an action, I can spend to use one of the healer's kits to tend to a creature.
Oh, healer's kit. Right.
1d6 plus 4, so that's the 6 that he got back. Plus
Okay.
additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice.
Okay.
Efforts are wasted on this man.
Possibly.
Yes.
Let's see what happens to him. Because he just took. I think you've got him alive for another round.
So we're going to.
You see another, because you're close to him and doing the healing kit. You do see some kind of a magical effect go over him that causes him damage beyond the 1 point from the sword.
Well, I
And
know
with
what I'm
that,
doing on
it
my
starts
next
to
turn.
rain.
It's raining now. Come on, keep him alive. Keep him alive. Keep him alive. Give him mouth to mouth.
Moss, are you doing anything?
Mouth to mouth.
I'm just a little disturbed at this back and forth of life and death that's going on in front of me.
Isn't that how Deadpool was made? Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you, Krista. Good night, Tracy.
Look, it's Mount Gahakis.
You leave Mount Gahakis alone.
Look, its legs of
Shh. Quiet. You.
Look, it's woods. And more woods.
Well, if no one else is doing anything, I'd like to do another.
In case you weren't sure, it's here,
Yeah, no, my plan was to
here,
back off from
here,
combat and
here,
go sit down.
and there.
Okay.
Shaking my head and
Is
Are
anyone-
you guys still screwing around? How can I sleep if you guys keep screwing around?
Sleeping through the whole thing.
Well, if it gets to me again, I'd like to try lesser restoration.
Interesting. Yeah, if nobody else is doing anything, it definitely gets to you again.
Okay.
Well,
So
I mean, if we're gonna heal him now instead of killing the guy.
The guy is dying.
He did mention that he wanted to die here. Just putting that out there.
I know. Well, I guess we're healing him now. So
Yes, but make sure you actually heal him and not
But
just
when
watch
did you
him
say that?
suffer.
When you said, why are you trying to kill him?
I said he was going to die anyway.
We're helping.
Night.
I'm helping.
What is this?
we're just gonna make him suffer for longer. That's all we're doing here.
No, he's dying and taking hit point damage on his own.
It's not connected to that.
Sure it is.
I believe that is the case.
Yeah. And that
Because he
allows
said
me to
he's
do
fine.
this, which is I'm
Because
still
he
listening to
said once
everybody.
Steve healed him, oh, he's going to be alive for another round.
Is there enough time for me to do lesser restoration on him? With the curse.
Yes, I do.
Remove curse. Do it.
Try, man.
No, I think
Do it.
Good night.
Gotta try it, man.
Do it.
So you said lesser restoration?
Yeah.
Well, this removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned condition. Are you concerned that he's poisoned?
I have no idea. It's the best thing I've got, and he's dying in front of me.
No. You don't need to make a check to realize that won't remove
It won't
anything
work.
besides blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned.
All right. Well, then I just say in his ear, I will bring justice to your land. I swear to you that I'll avenge your injured spirit.
That is our hope.
We'll die with that
One of
hope
these
in our heart,
times. one of these times, one of these groups of adventurers will finally
One of these
succeed.
times? How many? Wait,
And he
wait, wait,
falls
wait, wait.
into the fire,
How many more?
face first, kind of jawed. Plop.
How
I
many
grab
more?
him and pull him out of the fire before he really catches.
He hasn't
Um,
caught on fire yet, but he is dead.
That's okay. I'm gonna check his pockets before he catches on fire.
That's fine. That adds
Animate dead?
up.
On campaign.
He disappears into Barb's campaign, where
No.
so he got it in his dying words. I don't know if you guys caught him.
Yes.
And then he dies.
Yeah, okay.
So what's in his pockets?
Right.
You're searching his pockets?
Yeah.
He has the note.
I, in an exasperated way, just walk away from the fire.
You might want that note that you showed us.
Should have let
Whatever,
him
man.
eat him.
He's just a person.
The rolled up note has the signature of the Burgermaster on the bottom. Whether or not that's authentic, you have no idea. He has a component pouch. The material in this component pouch are for casting level 1 to level 2 spells. You think he would have had a spell focus, but he didn't. You also don't see a magic book or anything like that.
What
There-
about the clothes?
There
he's
is a
wearing?
strange amulet around his neck. You have no idea if it's magical or not. It's not in great condition, and usually magic items are. It seems like it's just really old.
Can anyone
Okay.
detect
Does
magic?
anybody mind if I take 10 minutes to detect magic?
Go right ahead. And
Alright.
then
We're not going anywhere.
if anyone wants, they can go ahead and take that component pouch. The contents, if that helps them at all. So, are you gonna wait 10 minutes in real life or no?
What was that?
He's well, Anthony said he was doing the detect magic.
Through the amulet. He wants to run a detect magic on the amulet.
Okay.
Well, actually, it works for anything around me.
Oh, you're casting detect magic as a ritual.
Yeah.
What is the range of detect magic again?
South. Alright, so I grab the amulet.
Wait, no. What is the range of detect magic?
South.
No, you're looking at
South is not the answer I'm looking for. Hang on.
30
Oh, wait,
feet.
yeah, 30 feet. Sorry.
Self. Oh, you were saying. I'm like south. What do you mean? No, you cast it on yourself, but it can see up to 30 feet. Okay. So you have
Everything's south.
You currently have detect magic up. It has a range of 30 feet. The amulet is definitely magical, and something at the very edge of your 30 feet is also registering as magical. It's strange. You've never noticed it before.
Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
West.
Us?
Oh, you should have said south.
I
Well,
wanted
just kinda-
to. I wanted to, but it wasn't.
I know.
I mean, if your character spins around, it's to the south. Yeah. It's over there.
That how it works?
But yeah, the amulet's magical.
Okay. Can I roll something to see what it is, or do I have just no idea?
The identify ritual will do that. Putting it on and waiting for an hour to see if it attunes to you will do that. And those are the two. Those are the two options I'm aware of. Identify
Okay.
the identify spell ritual, or just attuning to an item if it happens to be magical. I mean,
Yeah,
it
my,
needs to be
char-
attuned.
my character never gets identified. That's the lame thing.
I'm sorry. You can put it on.
I could identify it
You
tomorrow
could
morning.
ask the old. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna
I
work.
think. I
Would
think I
you,
could.
would you mind if I roll a wisdom check to see if this thing can possibly harm me?
You can make a wisdom check to determine if you think that the item off of the dead man could be cursed. Yes. The name of the module is Curse of Strahd. It's possible. There's a good chance that this could be a cursed item. You don't know.
Okay.
It somehow either about protecting from a curse or causing a curse or yeah.
So,
You guys
I
want to?
think this would be knowledge that I would know as a druid. But do I get? I think I have the option to get identify or
I
or
say you put
identify.
it on the druid.
So I think I could actually identify that tomorrow morning.
Okay. Do we want to put it in the bag of holding for now? You did pick that up, right? Pat, you did
What happened?
not.
Why are you shaking your head back and forth? I don't
He
know
didn't
what you're
grab the
saying.
bag of holding.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Oh, you didn't take the bag of holding. No, you forgot about that.
I'll just kind of put it in my pocket then, assuming
Okay.
Oh, I do not have that helm thing.
The what?
Chris. The
What are you talking about?
helmet.
Sure you do. The third
So
thing down in
Oh,
your
good.
equipment,
No,
Hub of
no,
Telepathy. And it's
yes,
all
thank
over
you.
your
I'm
action
blind.
page.
I'm
Under
blind.
magical item.
I stand up and I
Okay.
begin to walk 20 feet south.
Okay.
But what's that?
You clearly can detect magic coming from the trees.
All right. Can I make a perception check?
Yep.
Jesus. Oh, that was just wisdom.
You're able to differentiate, damn it. I bumped into a word I can't say. I didn't know I could say that word. You're able to tell the difference between the fog in the trees and the trees themselves. It's the fog that's giving off some form of necrotic energy that you haven't felt before. It's chilling.
Okay, so I'm frightened of it.
No, it's just chilling. You walk
Oh,
outside,
it's
it's chilling.
lingering.
Like if you walk outside in the winter morning, you feel the chill, but that doesn't mean you're afraid of it.
Okay.
You're welcome to be afraid of it. It's probably
I
not a
do
bad
not fear the cold. I'm a
Okay.
fire demon.
You should fear the cold.
thing.
But I don't suspect that there's any danger.
I have no idea. That's up to you. It is chilling.
Okay. It
It was
is
very
chill.
chill.
Now again, it's cold or like I feel a shiver up my spine kind of chilling.
A shiver in your spine? Chilling?
Okay,
It's
all
also
right.
cold.
So I feel as though it's dangerous.
Smells like
I shout to the group. Well, no, I rush back to the group.
Okay.
Danger, danger, Robinson.
Everyone be on alert.
I'm just trying to sleep. You guys said get some sleep, and you keep on
No,
waking me up
you
with
need to
old
wake
men
up.
dying. And fine, I'm up.
You need to wake up.
Fine, I'm up.
It is raining
Now
a little
what?
harder.
And it's raining. Why am I up? It's raining.
Did we lose Steve? It looks like he's not there.
Is
No,
right.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I just needed to stand up, otherwise I was gonna fall asleep.
Henry's gotten a little antsy too. He's starting to, get up, move around. I don't put my kids to bed anymore. I'm bad that way.
So yeah, I'm on alert and just kind of looking at the fog.
What else is everyone else doing?
Is it getting closer?
Well,
I will answer that as soon as I find out what everyone else is doing.
I don't know. Wait, so you're Zezran, he's not back
We have a
yet.
dead body at the campfire.
He's not back to us yet, is he?
He didn't go far. He wandered off not even 20 feet and then wandered back.
Oh, okay. Do you think we should head back to the inn at town and rest there? And then head out to whatever, tomorrow morning? You think that's the better option?
I think we should deal with the situation at hand. We might not get out of here alive.
What's the situation at hand? He died, and there's no more trip to Barovia. If he's gone, we had no idea how to get there.
Something's coming from the fog.
What are you talking about? Where?
Make an Arcana check, Mr. Cleric, sir.
Mm-hmm. Where? What fog?
There is definitely a bird in that tree.
You mean that bird?
Bird.
You are scared of your own shadow.
I miss you
Well,
too.
I get my hammer and my shield ready, and I look
Okay.
into the fog to try to see something. Get behind.
Make a perception check. And Butler, is your character just kind of sleeping?
Well, I've been woken up.
A few times. Have you protected yourself from the rain at all?
Protected
Yeah,
myself
like
from
a
the
tent
rain.
or I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a bird as well.
And what am I supposed to be doing? Perception?
No, I'm just wondering how you're not getting wet, or are you getting wet? So you're sleeping in the rain.
I'm getting wet right now.
Okay.
I was under some nice trees, and now I'm with the idiots who won't let me sleep.
Let's see. Blackbird, feathers
You see
in the
Arcana?
trees, in the fog somewhere. Arcana, don't remember that one anymore.
Oh, I thought it was over the misty shit.
Oh,
Sorry.
the fog's definitely unnatural. At 17, I'll tell you that. Moss, that's a raven. Without a nature check, you know that ravens usually aren't in this forest.
There's a raven.
Look
Look out for pirates.
Outside of game, if there is an encounter coming up, I'd recommend possibly stopping for the night, as it's like 2 o'clock.
I was wondering who was going to say that first, but no, I'm not going to ruin that. Yeah, the how are the floors looking? Magnus, it looks like the fog is getting closer, or curling off the trees into this little clearing that you guys are in, or something like that.
Surrounding us?
Yeah, I'd go.
Oh, guys, it's about to get real. It's closing in from every direction.
There is a large crack of lightning, and it lights up the area. I need everyone to make a saving throw.
What kind?
I was working on that. This is sight. Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, not me.
Ooh.
Nice rolls. Let's take these one at a time. I'm going to start low. Gabriel,
Yeah.
you look directly up into the lightning blast and see the flash of light. You, for a moment, feel your connection with Lathander in that flash. And the reason it becomes so strong is because by the end of this flash, which for you feels like 10 to 20 seconds, the connection has weakened. The distance between you and Lathander has grown from the beginning to the end of that flash. So the only reason you really felt the connection with Lathander in the first place is because it began to taper off. When the lightning bolt is gone, you still feel connected, but it feels like he is much further away, like you were talking to him a minute ago, and now you'd have to scream across the room. Something doesn't feel right about that. 9. The rain is getting in your eyes a little bit because you weren't really all that protected from it, and you were wiping your hand over your eyes the moment of the flash. You can see the change in light around you, but you didn't perceive anything beyond the fact that there was a lightning flash. 15. It's more than one lightning flash. There's actually two. One and then another. And when they come down, they don't go vertically. One of them goes horizontally. It makes absolutely no sense. And when they cross, the point in which they cross is a darkness that you've never seen or even heard of before. When the lightning is past, you no longer recognize the trees that are surrounding you. The trees are now stiff pine, and they're all very close together, almost unnaturally close together.
So they're
And
obviously not the same trees that we were surrounded by.
18 comes to the conclusion that not only are the trees different, the only thing that seems to be the same after this lightning flash is the camp area. It's not a fire anymore, but the camp area that you're in. During that flash, you saw what could have been described as a shift or a spin in the sky, which made absolutely no sense. And you're positive that you saw the visage of some kind of a man or beast in the clouds. I need you to make another perception check to see if you recognize it as anything or able to put it together. Like when someone sees something in the clouds, they don't necessarily put it together. And that's moss. I don't need that one. I need
Oh.
who rolled the highest? Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Yep, it was you.
I
My
almost
bad.
want to do an inspiration because I'm so excited in the storyline right now.
Grab it.
I'm gonna do it.
Gonna use an inspiration, huh? Give me a second. See what I can do for you.
Oh,
I'll give you another inspiration.
You don't have to re-roll it. You just the fact that you use the inspiration is all I needed. You don't need to use the roll.
yay!
I do that. I do that a lot. You can ask Christian.
Yep.
You say inspiration. You usually able to tell me what you're looking for.
You know, actually,
You see
I don't
that in the
know. I want to know
clouds.
where this is going.
You saw that face in the clouds for a moment,
What in the world? Oh,
and then it was gone.
I thought that was a joke for a minute.
It took up the whole sky, and it is etched into your mind. You'd know that face anywhere. You just don't know who it is.
Should have been Hide the Pain Herald.
As it calms down, you no longer see the fog, but it's still dark. It's still dusk. It's you're as tired as you would have been a moment ago. But those of you that made the perception check well, do not recognize the trees around you. The landscape is still similar, and the path or the path you would take is still the path you came in seems to be right there, but the trees are all different. The grass is all different. It could just be a coincidence.
I scan the area in like a 30-foot radius and just I don't know because that's kind of my home area. I can kind of recognize like how much it's changed.
Yep, and that's one. What does everyone else want to do?
Freak out a little bit.
Be my guest.
Cast light on my shield.
Try to close ranks and get back to back.
I get back to back with Magnus. Light up my shield.
When you light up your shield, you can. It's 20-foot dim, 20-foot dark, which is 20 foot close to you is bright. Then the next 20 is dim. In your case, it's 10-foot bright, 10-foot dim. And with that,
Something's keeping this light spell from going to its full range.
you can make an Arcana. Anyone can make an Arcana check to see what would cause that. And there is a reward for getting really high on this one. Just like every one. I don't even know why I mentioned it. There's always. I like the dirty 20. I can help with that. Most of you don't know why the light would be lessened. Magnus, you come to the conclusion that magic must work differently in this place, which means you are no longer in the same place.
Oh, we have realm shifted.
You're not wrong.
Suddenly I get really excited.
And the tieflings got the hornies.
The waggy tail. And I just forgot what everyone else is doing. I'm sorry. I blinked.
I was scanning the area to see how much it's changed.
Is this a perception check in which you're standing there looking around, or is this an investigation check which you're going to go look in the trees?
I think investigation, even though it's slightly worse, would be more accurate.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Investigation is slightly worse, but I think it's a little more accurate as to what I'm doing.
Okay. Investigation?
Where's the druid going? What's the druid doing?
Quickly make an animal handling check.
Oh. Can you handle animals? Do you know how to handle animals? Oh, he's
Wow.
a druid.
There is a small rat. And another. That's just the two. They're nearby. They're looking at you. They see you come. They see you as you come up on this one shrubbery close to these large pines. They're not spooked by you. You're not spooked by them. They're just watching.
kind of rats are they? Is there anything special about them? Are they normal rats? Do they look?
You've seen, like, you've never really seen a domestic rat, but you've seen wild rats. They look a little better off than a normal wild rat. Like, they've been eating well, or they're,
Ooh.
I don't know, they're not as challenged by the nature around them.
But they're not emanating with they're not radiating magic necessarily. They're not. There's nothing obviously different
Well, I
about
answered
them.
your question based on your nature check.
Okay.
That sounds like an
I
Arcana
got you.
check.
I got you.
I'm with you. I'm here to help. That's what I do.
No, I got you.
Okay. Like, investigation check found rats. Animal handling. They're not going crazy. Nature check. Told you what you got. You want Arcana? Be my guest. But I'll move around the table soon. It's not a table, but you get the idea. Wow. You can see a bright light in their eyes that does not match the rest of what they are.
All right, I'll sit on that. Oh, unless there's more.
Possessed rats.
And they don't notice that you notice. So
Okay, I will
Okay.
sit on that information.
Back to-
and you can work with someone else.
Steve, what is the cleric doing?
Same thing, just standing there holding that space, trying to let whatever's going to come.
Okay, make a perception check. That's standing, not investigating. High off into the distance, you can see a castle that is spearing the rest of the landscape. And it seems to be looking down on everything around it. At that moment, there's another lightning flash that's in the area of it. It's, I'm going to say it at best, but that's what you see. Anthony? Looks like that.
To have sparks kind of coming from my hands, but not in a hostile way per se. It's just kind of ready for any.
Are these sparks coming from any particular spell?
Shocking grasp, which if I spend a sorcery point, I can shoot it 30 feet.
Okay. What does it look like?
Like force lightning just wrapped around my hands.
Okay.
But it's yellow.
You can go with that.
Yellow.
It's not a. Is it? I have to ask. Is it a? Or is it usually a very bright yellow, like a sunshine yellow, or that?
It's a pretty dim yellow.
Okay, then it looks the way it usually looks. There was a chance that it didn't. And Christian, what's going on?
Holding back to back with the cleric.
Okay. You can make a perception check as well.
Perception check. Nope.
The very obvious dirt road to the west. You couldn't mistake it for anything else. It's obviously that is the way to go to whatever village you were supposed to be going to, or however this story was supposed to play out. It's almost like the road stops at your
dirt
encampment.
road over there, I think.
Yeah, that should lead to Barovia, right?
This looks like Sucker's Road.
Yeah.
He had said Barovia would be to the west. He must have been planning to take us.
My location.
Yeah.
Maybe our direction has also shifted.
I mean, he said west, and he was very, subtly hinting that we weren't going to be in Kansas anymore. I think we go west on this road, find Barovia, show them the letter, and see how we can help them and see how we can get home.
Sounds good.
Chris, is this a decent place to break for tonight?
Yep. I am definitely capable of breaking here.
This is exciting. I love this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm glad you guys are having fun.
I'm having a lot of fun.
This is a
Then I
blast.
actually had to talk to you about one last thing about my character that I just realized as well.
Well,
Doing
if
that.
anyone's in a hurry, then I mean, I don't have to log off anytime soon, Patrick. So if anyone is in a hurry and they have something they want to mention, we can do that first.
Can you put things away for me?
Oh,
I do have to go to bed though, guys. It was so
Good night,
fun
Steve.
playing tonight, though. Thank you, Chris, for doing this. This is
See you
awesome.
Monday and Thursday, and as long as I'm not going back to work.
If I need to things, unplug
I
it.
cannot.
Oh,
Take it
yeah.
easy.
I cannot wait.
All right, take
And
care.
thanks.
See you soon.
Anybody else in a hurry before I get to Patrick's question? Because I got all night, so
No,
Not a
I'm good.
particular hurry,
I'm
but I
bugging
am
off, though.
trying to get to bed.
I didn't miss what you
Boys
said.
will be
What was
good.
that?
I'm not in a particular hurry, but I am trying to get to bed.
Okay. And Christian, you said you're taking off?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, good night to anyone who doesn't
Night.
have anything. And Patrick, what's up?
Night, everyone. So my character has a feature. I don't know how he got it. It was something called Discovery. The quiet seclusion of your hermitage. Actually, being a hermit gave it to me. Sorry. Being a hermit gives me access to a unique and powerful discovery. The exact nature of this revelation depends on the nature of your seclusion. It might be a great truth about the cosmos, the deities, the powerful beings of the outer planes or forces of nature. It could be a sight that no one else has ever seen. You might have uncovered a fact that has been forgotten, etc. So it's a very, very
I'm on board. Do you have
very
an
obscure
idea?
fact. It is said work their DM to determine the details and discovery and its impact on the campaign.
My pleasure.
Um,
At this point, I want to know if you have anything you want to branch that off of, like a springboard into what then I will continue with as an idea, or do you want me to take that from the top, all me, or do you want to put input on that? Is what I'm asking.
I'm thinking maybe a certain because we're trying to go to Baruga right now.
Barovia.
Barovia, I can't forget. Barovia.
That's fine.
Maybe my guy knows a passageway to like a place that's close to it, that's in the forest, or maybe an entrance into the mountain or something that's in the forest that he found.
Okay.
I don't know if
I will.
that's.
I will get back to you on how that plays into plays in.
You have my Facebook, so feel free to reach out if you have any ideas or anything, and then we can talk about it on Monday too if you'd like.
Mhm.
Right.
I will not. I will not. You'll notice as I go out of my way not to take the light from Barb when she's DMing, so
Mhm.
we don't. I probably won't bring up much about Barovia
Okay.
during that time. I really like to give her moments. You know, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. So I even hate it when she has to ask me for help at any time because I want her to be able to do her thing.
I get it.
Cool.
So I had a question about something earlier.
What's up?
I
Good
mentioned
night.
that what was the name that I had mentioned that I read about?
Uh-oh.
The
The Vistani?
yeah, the Vistani.
Gotcha.
I had mentioned that I read about them in the book. Do you want me to actually come up with some stuff as background?
Sure. I don't think you'll know much about the Vistani by themselves, but where you found the book and the events that led up to you finding the book, I'd love to
Okay.
have that kind of backstory to work with.
All right, sounds good.
As for trying to detail out who or what they are, don't bother. That's already done.
Yeah, just
Okay.
my background in general.
And then I'll try to get to you what information you might have gleaned, or I mean, does your character ever see this book, or just like you'll have to tell me?
Yeah,
I mean,
I've held it. I've read it. Like,
is it currently on your person?
it is not.
Okay, that's important. All right,
All right.
that comes in handy. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All righty. Have a good night and thank
You
you.
You're welcome.